What's up? What's up? Yes, sir. That was a lot of fun. Love when to win by 20. It's a great win. Yeah.
Well, that makes me
Here
look
the
like
whole
an idiot.
time.
That makes me look real stupid. Okay, well, now you can hear me. Thank you, Anthony, for commenting on that. That's very helpful, actually. Um, let's see, though. Now you can hear me,
Yeah.
but basically just recapping what I said, didn't say much. Just said it was a really fun game to watch. Won by 21. Like, big
Yep.
deal.
It felt
Uh,
good after a terrible. I guess we can call it. It was not good. That West Coast trip, we only won one
yeah.
game.
The Warriors, that game was impressive, though. I'll give them that. It just wasn't, like, super good or anything.
Yeah, and it was only one game.
Yeah, right.
Every other game we just botched. But it felt good. Won by 20, especially versus a team like the Cavs, where we should be winning. And we came last time we played Cleveland, we lost. I think it was on the road.
Yeah.
Drummond had like 33, something like that. So felt good just to kill him.
Yeah.
And everybody had a good game. Pretty much that. Can't say that bad about anybody.
Really fun to
Everybody had a good
watch.
game. So,
Now,
yeah.
I gotta mention, I put some stuff up here, okay, on the stream, and it's like two gifs of Quickly's highlight plays tonight. And there was a lot of highlight plays from Quickly tonight, but he had two really good ones, I thought. So I put that dunk, over Jared Allen, not on, I guess, like you said, Zach, but over.
Around.
Yeah, but it was still an and one, so it was nice.
Oh, it was nice.
But and then the and one three
Not
that
taking
didn't
anything
count,
away.
but it was still a really nice 3-pointer. So it doesn't matter. It was
And then
really
took
nice
a little
anyway.
swim.
Yeah, a little swim. I like that swim. I posted it on our Twitter, bro. That was nice. But I got some questions for you, Zach, because I want to hear what you think about this. Because
Hmm.
I got some opinions that I just kind of formed while you were gone for a little bit that I found a little interesting. Okay,
Okay.
what do you think about quickly starting? What do you think?
I'm a fan of it. I feel like we're like lately Payne just hasn't been it like in the paint. Like he went 1 for 6. And like I was saying while we were watching the game, the dude would just pass the ball off to the wing and then just sit in the corner the whole possession.
Yeah,
So if you want your offense, your starters to be like that to start off the game, fine. But if you want a point guard that's going to be a scorer like Quickly, I think you start Quickly. I think Quickly's comfortable right now off the bench, giving him 25 minutes, just let him do what he did. Like he only did that in 25 minutes, so it's just very impressive to see. I don't mind how they play him, just play him.
no, I
However, he's more comfortable.
see. Here's the thing. I really agree with you on the fact that quickly deserves starting minutes, and I say deserves, but I think about it this way too, right? I
Hmm.
like how we're playing with him coming off the bench
Yeah,
because I watched a little bit of the post game with Wally Zerbiak and stuff like that, and Alan Hahn, and they actually asked the same question, and I wasn't thinking about it in the moment, but apparently, Wally Zerbiak said, not apparently, it's kind of just an opinion, but like he was saying that wouldn't it be better if we just had a stronger bench unit so that if we have a poor starting five, which happens sometimes, we just underperform, we have actual young guys come in off the bench and play just as good as the starting guys. Like,
yeah,
so it makes sense, but I would say 25 minutes for Quickly is a crime if you're giving RJ 40. It's just a fact. RJ played great tonight, but really, I mean, you can't give Quickly more minutes. I know he got
yeah.
in foul trouble. Okay, I will say that. That is a good argument for Thibodeau to make as to why he didn't play that many minutes and stuff. But, like, 25 minutes, man. He's been getting consistently 25 minutes and scoring over 30 points. Like, the dude scored 25 tonight. He had 31 the other night or something. Wasn't it versus the Blazers, right?
Yeah,
Even though we
31.
lost, he brought us back from a 25-point deficit. Like, the kid's playing absurd. And he's not
Yeah,
even listed as a point guard, but he's throwing lobs to Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson and stuff and Obi Toppin. He's listed as a shooting guard on ESPN. Like, that's
yeah.
absurd. I
And
mean,
he took 8 threes and he hit 4 4 in the last
yeah.
4. Like that's just he. As long he's hot. Sometimes he's hot and cold,
Yeah.
but I think he's at least I'd say 60% of the time he's hot.
Right. I mean,
So,
it's always healthy though to see like some inconsistent games because then you know
of
the dude's
course,
human. I mean, it's really fun to see a guy who's as young as quickly as what he's like pretty much would have been his junior year of college, right?
junior year.
And
I
he's
think he's
playing out of his
22.
mind. Now, I will say one thing, and Obi's not getting a lot of minutes, but that kind of has a lot to do with his defense, and he can't really get the offense going, and it's not his fault because it's only 13 minutes, but like he doesn't really have that, if you know what I mean, like where he just doesn't come out blazing, like he gets in the offense when he
Exactly.
gets open shots and stuff like that, but it's really not like he's creating shots for himself, and it's just, it's in college he was creating shots for himself because he was posting up little dudes, right?
He was
But
the
now he's
number one
posting
option.
up, right? But now he's like the fifth option when he's on the floor most of the time. That is fourth maybe, and like he's getting open looks from three. But he did well tonight. I'll give him that. 1 for 3 from three is not terrible, especially coming in. I thought he would shoot around 33%, and he hit it on the dot tonight. So I have no problems with it. But 2 for 4, that's fine in 13 minutes. I have no complaints. I just kind of, I was talking to Zach, during the game, we were having a conversation, and like, I was saying maybe we capitalize on Julius Randle's trade value at the trade deadline if we're not going to make the playoffs. If we're not going to make the playoffs, though. Because I love Randle right now. But,
Yeah, that's just the decision they got to make.
yeah.
Do they see him in the future? Because he's playing really well right now.
Well,
So
what do you
if
see?
you want to move up Opie, what do I see? I
Yeah.
see him in the future.
You
to
see
be
in the
honest.
future, okay. How
I
old
think they're
is
going to
Randle?
build around him. He's 26,
Oh,
so he's very
so
young.
he's got plenty of time left. That's good to hear. I would love to build around him. I think Obi's actually a great bench piece, regardless. Then again, he's the 8th pick. He was the number 1 power forward coming out of college, number 1 in his position. But like at the end of the day, even if he doesn't progress to be the superstar that the Knicks want him to be, because we want everyone to be a superstar on this team, right? But that's just not going to happen. Like
No, of
if he
course not.
happens to be just a really decent role player guy, then I'm fine with that. If he's coming off the bench after Randall, it's just he's kind of a project. There's not a lot to work on. I was hoping that he would just like come in and be good because he's like 22 years old. But at the end of the day, like as long as he just gets in that weight room, starts working on his shot, like he's got a great chance in the NBA to be a good 6th man / starter. Just not, he's not a superstar, But we kind of
As long as he develops, he would be a perfect piece just to build more depth.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you
of
don't need to
course.
trade Randall just to start this guy. Now you
Yeah.
could just bring him in after 7 minutes. Just if they want to make him 6-man, just depending on what they want to do.
Works out.
They're going to
perfect.
trade Rivers, like whatever they want to do, just to try and get him more minutes because he's only playing like 13 minutes,
Yeah.
and try and get him more involved in the offense because usually when the bench unit comes out, those guards are usually the primary scorers, Quickly and Rivers. So you're trying to get Opie more looks. Trade Rivers, do it, or just put him in a new rotation with Payne, whatever
I
they
can
want
see
to
that.
do.
Here's what I was really happy about last night. Or not last time, sorry. Tonight. Okay? And Zach, maybe my reaction was a little too strong. But what's his name? Taj Gibson played minutes tonight. He played 1 minute.
Played 1
I've
minute
been waiting on my man to get in the game number 67.
because of foul trouble.
Woo! Taj Gibson playing tonight. That's great to see. I just missed Taj Gibson on the team last year. I felt like he was a good mentor, and I feel like he's great to have back on the team. I know, Zach, I know maybe you didn't watch as many games I did last year, and, at the end of the day, Taj Gibson's no superstar, right? But, like, not even a star. He's just an older 36-year-old, 37-year-old guy who's just coming in on a vet minimum to be a mentor, right? But, like, you said, like, you didn't want to mess up our team chemistry right now, remember? Because, like, he would have gotten some minutes. Thibodeau has really proved me and you wrong in a way, in that he didn't really give Taj any minutes. Like, I thought there was going to be some legitimate bias because of the Chicago days, but there wasn't. I think that's great to see. But as far as I'm concerned, Taj Gibson is just going to be a great piece for this team. I think he's great, not to mentor Obi in a way, but at the end of the day, he, back in his prime, was one of the better defensive players on that Bulls team, and it's really good to see that we can have someone like that on our team kind of teaching the ways of the defense to guys like Obi and Quickly and stuff like that, because they need it. They're not great defensive players. They're actually pretty good offensive players. Like, Quickly's out of his mind. He's pretty much Steph Curry shooting level right now, and that's not even an understatement. Did you shot 5 for 8 tonight from 3? And he's, like, making every single free throw he shoots. I've witnessed... Zach, I don't know if you've witnessed both. I think you have, though. But both of his free throw misses all year. Out of, like, 46 free throws. Like, that's crazy. I mean...
And it's a weird occurrence to see. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
And he didn't do it in college.
Right, he never missed.
One of those guys. Never missed in college. It was like Hero. Hero in college.
And
They just
also,
both of them didn't miss back-to-back years.
Hero didn't even.
It was
Well,
nice.
I knew Hero was good coming out of college. I didn't actually know he was good coming out of college. Actually, Zach and me talked a lot of trash back and forth. Zach is a big Hero fan, and I thought he was drafted too high. Although I don't even know. I didn't really know. I think Zach kind
You
of, I
just
thought,
said it.
overhyped him a little bit, and I was proven terribly wrong after RJ's rookie year compared to his. So
Yeah.
I mean,
To
this
be
season
fair, I
RJ's playing great.
overhyped him because I just loved him at Kentucky, but he backed it. He really
In the
backed it up.
playoffs, he
In
backed
the
it
playoffs,
big
he
time.
backed it up. He didn't get that many minutes in the season, though. So we
No,
can't.
yeah.
He played like 15 minutes a game, but he still
Yeah.
scored a good amount. He scored as much as RJ did.
Yeah,
So.
it was good to see. I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy that he was playing good, right? But at the end of the day, I was kind of like jealous a little bit because I was like, "Damn, I could have predicted that." Because I watched some of his high school stuff at like the very beginning of his rookie season. I was like, "Oh damn,
He was
this
so
kid's-"
good.
I was like, "Oh damn, this kid's good." I was like, I made a bad decision by saying he was bad. But I feel like we're going a little off topic here, Zach, with the conversation flow. But like, I want to talk a little bit about Julius Randle, if that's cool, because Julius Randle, he didn't score a lot this game, but we played really good. Like, that was very encouraging because this dude has to drop 25 a game sometimes for us to win by like 5, right? But he dropped, I think it was like 10 by like the third quarter, and we were up by like 15 or something. So it's really good to see. Austin Rivers played good. He obviously shot 1 for 6 from 3. I didn't even realize that. Like, it's just kind of overshadowed by the way he played in the paint, you know? Like, I didn't realize he missed 5 3-pointers, but he hit that one at the beginning. That was nice.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm again sliding off topic of Julius Randle. But yeah, 16, 8, and 6. He was a triple-double threat for most of the game. I think he had like, at one point it was like 8, 6, and 6, or maybe 6, 6, and 6 going into like halftime or something like that. And I thought, okay, this is probably a triple-double night for Julius Randle, and he still backed it up just fine. So I was happy to see him playing good out there. He played good defense too. And I think that also has a lot to do with why I was mentioning like his trade value and stuff. And I never mentioned like whether or not he should or shouldn't be in our future because I know you gave your opinion on that, Zach. But like, I don't know if he's a future piece because I think he's good. I think he's really good right now. But what can you get for him? I think that's a better question.
See,
Like,
depending on what they get for him, if it's just like a mid-first round pick, I don't think a mid-first round pick's going to put up the numbers Randall's putting up. And not just like taking away from guys that Randall's doing right now, like Opie, if you want to say that. He's just, nobody's going to put up 22, 12, 6. He's putting up the assists too. So it's not like he's just ball hogging on offense. And he only had 4 points, I think, in the first half, 4 or 6.
oh yeah, he didn't.
Because he got, but he facilitated. He still had like 6
6
rebounds,
assists, something like that.
4 assists. Yeah, something like that. So I think he's a very valuable piece. I don't think anything we get for him will be what he is worth. Like mid-first round picks, that's just not going to be worth what Randall is right now.
Yeah.
So I just don't see a point in training with him. I think he's just great with the team right now. He's playing great with Barrett. He's playing great with Quickly. He's just playing great right now. He's learning to back off a little bit.
I think the ironic part about it, though, Zach, is that we have a team option on him coming up. $20 million for a team option. That's very valuable because that's not a lot of money, and we still have cap. And I'm not saying we're to sign anybody, but we could still sign these veteran role players back because this is a good team. It's legit. I mean, we're 9-11 right now, 4-4 at home, which I was kind of hoping would be a little better, but we've had a really tough first half of the schedule, so like we'll probably get a lot. I think that's the encouraging part, though, Zach. And I know I haven't really mentioned it a lot in the podcast, but like we have a tough schedule. Like we've been playing really good teams, and we're performing just under 500. So it's like when the second half of the season comes, this may be a cakewalk if we can stay healthy and stay out of the COVID protocol and stuff. Like I'm not that worried. I think we can definitely make the play-in tournament or the playoffs or whatnot. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're playing a lot of good West Coast teams.
Oh, yeah.
Home and away.
Blazers,
So, getting those done.
Warriors. We played the Sacramento Kings, who actually have been decent, but I expected us to win that game. I was a little disappointed. Did we podcast that one?
No, it was like a 10 o'clock game.
Right, so we pre-gamed that one, but then again, we watched the game, and it just wasn't what we expected. Like, the 9-point loss was a little disappointing because it was just a really sloppy second half, I remember, and it was just hard to watch some of the game, but this game was a lot of fun. I mean, when Quickly's on, he is on. Like, it's never just, I'm like, middle of the pack. Like, he never just has 15. Like, he goes all the way. This dude scores 25, 30, or he scores 5. It's just that simple. But that's why I think he's playing great coming off the bench. And 25 minutes, 25 points is very impressive. Especially when you have 5 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with it. This dude's consistency is crazy when it comes to this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, played out as much tonight.
I know this is kind of going off of the topic, but I think it's kind of important to mention for the scape of the NBA, because I do want to involve other teams in the podcast too a little bit. But apparently the Nets just dropped 147 points in a win without Kevin Durant. Like, that's going to be
We got to
scary.
see Harden's numbers. Do you have
They
them
both
up?
dropped 25 as far as I'm concerned. Kyrie and Harden. But I worry for the rest of the NBA because I know Anthony and you were in the call earlier. You know, we mentioned Giannis and how he signed that 5-year. No one's talking about it, but I don't know if he's getting out of the East for the next 5 years. I mean, maybe not the next 5, but like the next 2 or 3. Like, they got James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving locked up on like 3 to 4 year deals. Like, are you kidding me? How are you going to get out of the East playing that team? I mean, you better hope that they don't build a wall on you because they might. And it relates to the Cleveland Cavaliers that there was a ton of rumors that Andre Drummond is going to get a buyout and that he's going to the Nets. That's just the rumors per the NBA analysts and stuff. I'm not sure. I thought Ian Bagley reported on it, but if I said for sure I knew, then I'd probably be giving you fake information. But I've seen it, and I'm kind of going ranting here about trade rumors and stuff. But I feel like this is more of a one-sided rumor because this happens with the Knicks a lot. But I will mention, Zach, and this was also a thing last season, but apparently the Knicks for the last season had been monitoring this Chicago Zach LaVine situation very closely. And I think that has a lot to do, and I'm not saying by any means that he is worth Julius Randle, but if you were to trade Julius Randle and package him for anybody in this league, Zach LaVine is the guy to do it for, honestly. I mean, he's a shooting guard on a team that's been underperforming for the past few years. He should be an all-star, but he's not, because his team's losing. The Knicks have made this winning culture, a thing, which is a big deal because that attracts free agents too. But that's not the point. Like, if you packaged, and this is just kind of going off the top of my head, we can get further into details later, but like if you package Julius Randle, Kevin Knox, and honestly, like Frank Ntilikina, maybe you'd have to give up like your first round pick, like next year or something. You can get Zach LaVine. Like, he's really good. Do you know what Zach LaVine's averaging, Zach? Because I think he was averaging upwards of 28 points per game.
This year?
Yeah.
Sheesh. I don't think that's realistic for the Bulls, to be honest. Why would they take a forward?
That's why I feel like it could be a one-sided rumor. But then also you have to think about it this way. They just keep losing. And Zach LaVine is entering his prime, right? So it's always good to have him. But, like, come on. I mean, he may request a trade sooner than later. The dude's been playing out his mind. He's not getting rewarded for it. He's not getting anything for it. And I will mention one more thing because it is also relevant to the Knicks, right? The Mavericks are losing by 15 right now to the Jazz in the first quarter. I like that.
We like that.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone's tuning in to this like live stream and they don't know what I'm talking about. I think I'm just trashing on the Mavs for no reason. We do have their unprotected first round pick. Like, that's a big deal. And if they don't make the playoffs, which they're 8-11, or they might be 8-11 tonight, which is what I'm hoping for. But if they go 8-11 and they continue this losing streak and they're only winning these easy games, I think we got a lottery pick out of them. Honestly, I think there's a chance. I don't pray on Luka to get hurt, but if he was to get hurt, I think that's a guaranteed top 10 pick. Because Porzingis doesn't play back-to-backs. I mean, they're a Western Conference team. And their best chance is the play-in tournament. And even then, I'm not sure if they'd make it. Because there's other teams, There's the Warriors. There's the Jazz, who I think are playing way beyond their means right now. I'm not sure how they're playing this well. But good for them. 14-4, maybe 15-4 tonight. That's absurd. But yeah, they're also a team that beat the Knicks. So, and they lost to us too, right?
This year?
Yeah, right?
I think we only put. I only remember.
We beat them. I remember. I think we definitely.
I know we definitely beat them last year, both games. I do not remember this year.
I may as well look it up. I'm not going to lose.
I don't think we played them this year. I think it's just both last year. We beat them both.
Okay. I mean, I think we did.
Yeah, I
it's
think
not going to show me because it's the most recent game, but that's not even the point. Like, at the end of the day, if we get the Mavericks lottery pick and we don't make the playoffs, we got 2 lottery picks Plus, if we trade for someone, trade for a pick at the deadline, because I could see Alec Burks and Austin Rivers, although I love both those guys, and I think they're really crucial to making the playoffs. If, like I said, we're under 500 by a convincing amount by the trade deadline, I do think those guys are gone. And even if, I'm not sure if they're going to be staying. Like, if someone wants to trade you, and this is, God forbid, and I doubt this would happen, if someone wants to give you a first-round pick, no, not first, but like a late second for Elfrid Payton, you just do it. You just do it. I mean, he's on a one-year deal. If like a championship team really needs a point guard that badly and they need to trade for someone, they trade for him, then sure, give me your second. But I doubt that would happen. If
I don't think anybody really wants Elfrid Payton.
I can't even blame them. He probably is a better player. That's the only argument I really have for starting quickly is that Elfrid Payton may just be a better player off the bench to have. Like, he's not a starter, you know? He doesn't get the team going. He actually kind of kills the momentum if you think about it. But that is if Quickly has a good game, then you're in a good position. But then again, if he has a bad game, he's having the same Elfrid Payton effect. So it's like, it doesn't really matter.
I feel like what Tibbs does with Payne is he just uses him as a filler to wait for like when he could put in Quickly and Rivers. Even though he does get 23 minutes, I think he's just on the team to do so. Plays defense, pass the ball to the wing, get in the corner, like I said earlier. So if that's what they want to use him for, just do that. Or if they you might as well just cut him. Because if you don't want that, he does nothing. Nobody wants him. Why would anybody want him? Let's be real.
Yeah.
So if you're going to put Rivers and Quickly over Payne, why would nobody wants him though?
No, but I got to add to that because, like, I agree with the cutting thing. Like, we talked about that. But, like, if you're going to play Elfrid Payton 23 minutes to sit in the corner and do nothing, like, why are you not playing DSJ? Why are you not playing Frank? Like, I'm not saying I think those guys deserve the playing time based on how they've done in practice, I'm sure. I'd love to see the practices. I'd love to just have a live stream set up and see how he works, these guys, in practice. Because I want to see what the difference is between Frank Ntilikina and Elfrid Payton in practice. Because obviously Frank Ntilikina has been a good defender. Although he got hurt. That is true, but, like, you know, at the same time, if you're going to give him 23 minutes, could you at least give Frank 10? Like, you're giving Obi 13. You're not giving Frank any minutes. DSJ, you're not giving any minutes. And it just doesn't make sense to me because 1 for 6, 0 for 1 from 3, and the three-pointer that he shot, Zach, was an air ball. A wide open air ball.
In the corner?
It is bad. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it. Even if he has a 25-point game, if he has 25, 10, and 10, he could probably still shoot, like, 5 for 20 and have, like, all those other free throws. Like, it's just that simple. Like, I don't believe in his consistency at all. So, I'm not a big Elfrid Payton fan. Never have been, never will be, even if he plays out of his mind for the second half of the year. I don't think I'm going to be able to warm up to the idea of re-signing him again. But I think the only reason, though, that we even got this dude back is because we struck out on Fred VanVleet. And we struck, I don't even know if we offered Fred VanVleet, but, like, we struck out on every other point guard available. So we had to get him back. Which makes sense. But, like, I was okay with it. But, you know, I don't know how you felt about it, Zach. But we do have DSJ and Frank. So, like, it kind of kills their chance to play.
Yeah, so going on that, I feel like this is going to be disappointing to say, but DSJ just doesn't work for this team. Like, when you come off the bench and you have Quickly Rivers, those are your scoring options. And say you want to put DSJ in, that just kills. He's just not meant for this team. There's no spot where you could put him in. Because DSJ, to me, is a scoring option. Drive, dunk. If he wants to shoot, he's been working on that. That's just not what this... That's Quickly and Rivers' job as a point guard. He just doesn't fit that, especially in the starting position where you have Randall... Barrett, Mitch. I guess he could throw lobs to Mitch, but DSJ doesn't work. But Frank Ntilikina, you could slip him in. I feel like you can get away with if you want to play corner, if you want to just pass it off like Payne's doing and just sit in the corner for Frank. You can get away with that and just use Frank for defense, which is what you're pretty much doing for Payne, or use him as a filler. So I feel like, sadly, DSJ, especially after getting him in the Porzingis deal, after we didn't draft him, who'd we get? Was it? Oh, we took Frank Ntilikina.
Ironically enough, yeah, right.
We have both of them now, and they're both sitting on the bench doing nothing. So
it's a shame.
Yeah,
but I have kind of an idea after you saying that, sitting in the corner. If you're gonna start anybody over Payton, I think it makes sense to start Knox. And hear me out, okay? Because this is just a proposal, and I'm not sure if it will work, but it would just be a test run. But, like, if you got RJ running your point guard, which is possible, he has had some really nice dimes this year. That is undeniable. He's had some nice passes. He's good at working through the defense, passing right out. So I'd say RJ, Alec could still start, but if Reggie comes back, you could still start Reggie because he's hurt, right? So it can go RJ, Alec / Reggie, and then you got Knox and Randall and Robinson. I have no issues with that. I just don't like the idea of Peyton even being on this team. So that's really where I feel like the bias comes from, to just like, why is he here? Right? I mean, I don't understand. Also, one other thing that's important to mention, we are up 2-1 in the season series on the Cavaliers. So that is important. We're beating the Cavs, and they beat us that one time by 3, remember?
Yep.
Seen that just now?
In Cleveland.
I forget what that game was. They didn't have Jared Allen at that point, did they?
No.
Yeah.
I think Drummond had like 33 that game.
Right. He's on my fantasy team, so it really sucks because it's very counterproductive when I'm cheering for the other team, but I'm also cheering for my fantasy team because he's scoring, and I'm like, yay! Oh, wait, that's the Knicks he just scored on. So that's really the shame.
Definitely feel that.
Yeah.
I could be a victim of that too.
Yeah.
Definitely do that a couple times.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the Cavs because I feel like it's important to talk about the Knicks, but the Cavs also played hard tonight, but they just didn't play hard enough, right? Because like Darius Garland came out, had a really good second half, right? Jared Allen had a good game. He just didn't get the opportunities that he should have gotten. And Andre Drummond played awful. I mean, we locked him, right?
Yeah.
Mitch played great defense. Although the foul trouble, though, I didn't talk about that, so I'll go back a little bit. I want to hear what you got to say about this. But, like, do you remember, Zach, in, like, the second quarter, it was, like, halfway through, Mitch has, like, 2. Nerlens has 3. Then Taj gets subbed in. I mean, that's an issue. I mean, we knew that was going to be an issue. It's just like, damn. Like, you really can't stay in the game. You just can't. Doesn't work.
They've been good this year with that. Like, is this the first time Taj has even stepped in?
First time Taj stepped on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah. It's good to see.
He'd only come in because of foul trouble, and he just came in. So,
right.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but they played aggressive and led to fouls, but they came out with finishing, I guess. If I want to say that.
It was fun to watch.
Mitch played 22 minutes. Nerlens played 25, so that's good. Doesn't matter.
And I think it was also really impressive how, although Julius Randle had a pretty poor first quarter, because he only scored, his first field goal came in like the second half. So it's good that he kept going, and I like the confidence that this Knicks team has been exhibiting, right? Because like RJ Barrett last season, when he had a bad first half, he had a bad second half because he just didn't have any confidence. But I like that now he could have a terrible first half and still score 15 or 20. It just depends on whether or not he keeps wanting to shoot the ball, and he has this year. So that's been, I think, a big reason as to why we're pulling away in these 20-point wins and stuff is like the confidence of RJ and quickly being extremely confident as a rookie. I think that's nuts. The only thing I worry about is that it's really not that hard to play defense on Quickly because he is the size he is, if you know what I mean. Like, you just have to play him right, and these teams aren't coming in with plans circled around him. But, like, I feel like halfway through the season, I think there's a good chance that they're going to start kind of working on stopping him, and that's going to stunt his game a little bit. That's going to be tough. He's a young kid still.
I think he'll still be able to find a way to, maybe not on ball to get open, but off ball. He'll get around, still get his shots up. So, I think, yeah, everybody eventually finds a way. Especially when you're a rookie like him, they'll find something to guard him. But he'll have to evolve his game. He'll have to play more off, and he'll figure it out.
One thing I feel that is very important to mention, very encouraging, Jazz game first quarter, 37-12. The Mavericks are losing.
Wow.
37-12. Is Porzingis playing tonight?
25-point blow.
Porzingis is playing tonight. -18 plus minus. I mean,
that is very bad.
God. And Luka has 6 points and 2 rebounds and 1 assist with a steal. And they just can't get it going. And this is exactly what I've been talking about. This is why it's so important to keep up with other teams, because this Mavs team, they may be trash. I don't know. They play a lot more Western Conference teams than we do because they are a Western Conference team. So we got a better chance to make the playoffs than they do at this point because we're in the East. They're in the West. So
exactly.
really good to see. I'm loving it that they're getting killed right now because also I'm fine with the Jazz winning games. I have nothing against them, right? So
No,
as
we have
far
no
as
reason.
as far as we can like get this pick from the Mavs and Zach, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think like it's gonna be lottery protected or not? I'm sorry, not lottery protected. Do you think it's gonna be a lottery pick or do you think it'll just slide out of the lottery? It's important to hear what you gotta say. I mean,
Um, I'd say based off how they're playing now and how I think they'll be playing throughout the year, I think if they don't make the playoffs, it'll be like 12, 11, maybe 13 in that range. But if they do get a hot streak and they get in the playoffs, I think they'll be a first round exit.
yeah,
So I'm thinking it'll be mid. Definitely like from 18 to 10. That would be my range.
yeah,
In
I
that
love
range.
that.
If I'd put it dead in center, just to go with that.
Now, here's why that's so good in my opinion. Even if we don't get a lottery pick from them, at the end of the day, we drafted Emmanuel quickly at 25, and this draft
Yeah.
wasn't even considered deep. It was pretty much the consensus was that the top 3 picks are the only dudes in this draft. But it was going to be Wiseman, Edwards, and LaMelo, who I'm not even high on Edwards. He's had some good games, but he just gives me too much Wiggins, bro. He gives me Wiggins vibes, and it's just ironic that he's on the Timberwolves because like I feel like they're always going to keep drafting these Wiggins types of players where they just put up empty stats and they lose and lose and lose. Like that's exactly what Karl Anthony. I love Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's a good player, but there's a reason that the Timberwolves have not made the playoffs without Jimmy Butler, right? Because Jimmy Butler is a winner and he doesn't put up stats. Karl Anthony Towns is a loser who puts up stats. Like, what was the last time he won in college? He played in Kentucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the last time he won. Like, anything.
Well, they made if you want to count a playoff with Butler, but that's pretty much the
But that was
closest
like
they've ever
you
got to winning.
snuck in. Like there was a
Yeah, it
literal.
was like the
Because
eighth
remember
seed.
that Nuggets game? Unless you, I don't know if you remember it, but it was a Nuggets versus Timberwolves game, and it literally came down to the last possession of the game to make the playoffs. And it could have been the Nuggets, and they would have still been on a playoff losing streak. And then they got like 4-1 in the first round. Like it doesn't count for anything. If you're going to make the first round, you're going to get exited. Now, I would say differently for this Knicks team because we don't have anyone on a max contract. We don't have any designated superstar players like they do. We didn't have the first overall pick like they did. So us making the playoffs and getting 4-1 is a perfect situation for us. I'm totally fine with it. Zach, I definitely want to keep talking, but I want to hear what you got to say. You got anything to talk about with this Knicks team?
I don't know. I feel like we gotta wait to see how this team continues to go off of this win because we were not playing. We were playing pretty bad in that stretch versus the West Coast. Let me pull up the schedule. Let's go off of that.
Because I think at the end of the day, right, this Knicks schedule has been really tough so far, and the fact that we've gone 9-11 so far, and we're still 4-4 at home, which is 500, is actually really impressive, right? And I just love to see this. I'm just obsessed with the idea of seeing this Knicks team in the playoffs because I would just love to see it. And RJ Barrett playing as good as he is, hopefully quickly keeps this up. Randall keeps it up. You know, we got a really good chance. I'm gonna look
So we
at
got the
Knicks schedule
Clippers
so I can follow you.
on
Yeah,
Sunday. That's gonna be a rough one.
that'll
If they
be
got
tough.
their healthy guys,
I
that'll
heard
be
Kawhi
tough.
and PG are back. That's what I've heard. It's kind of a shame. Like literally
And then
today, I got a
maybe that
notification, but that they're finally playing together. Like, damn, it's like really, you
Yeah.
just got to do that now. Yep.
How are
I
the
was
Bulls?
right.
We
We
playing
did
back
beat
to
the
back.
Jazz once. We beat them by 12. Was that the game where someone went off? It was January 6th, and we beat them.
Yeah,
at
that
their
was
home
the
court, right?
that was the Rivers game.
That was the Rivers game. You're right.
I thought you were
'Cause,
talking about the Mavs. When you
Oh
were
no,
saying
we haven't
who
even
we
played the
this-
Mavs yet. No, we haven't even played them
Yeah.
yet.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No,
Okay.
my bad. But when do we play the Mavs? I think that's important. Wow, we don't really play the Mavs for a long time. And I don't even think they've solidified the second half of the schedule yet because they don't confirm it until they figure out what's going on with the COVID protocol and like the postponements. So we don't actually know the second half of the schedule until or maybe we do, maybe I'm just tripping, but I feel like we don't know the second half of the schedule for a while. So I haven't been able to see it. But at the end of the day, we have a really kind of easy streak coming up if you think about it. We play the Bulls back to back, and then we play I'm sorry, not the Timberwolves. Then we play the Trailblazers, who are actually a good team, and they only beat us by 3 that one time. But as long as we can stop Damian Lillard, they don't have Nurkic, they don't got CJ. Like we got that game if they don't play right. So,
Yeah.
And then the Heat, who, unless Jimmy Butler comes back, which hopefully, I'm saying hopefully because I hope the best for Jimmy Butler, but by February 7th, hopefully he's back. I think we can probably beat them too because they've been inconsistent this year. So I don't really see them winning as many games as last year. And we played them back to back. I don't know. We got an easier schedule coming up. That's the point, right? Like I see Spurs here, Hawks, Magic, Rockets, Wizards. That should be an easier schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Yeah, I agree.
easier than Nuggets, Jazz, Nets, Pacers, Raptors, and then the first 2 games of the year, the first official 2 games of the year were Sixers and Bucks, and we won the Bucks game by 20. This team is legit if we could just keep it up.
Yeah.
But unless
Hopefully we can even this record out.
Yeah, if you got anything else to talk about, I'm totally down to talk about it. But I feel like we've kind of covered everything. It was a really fun game to watch. We have the best defense in the NBA by a mile now, I feel like. We held the Cavs to 81 points. And we're talking about them they killed us in the first 5 minutes of the game. We had 2 points in the first, 4 minutes, right? And then we come out, we win the first quarter by 2 points. I don't know how that happened. Probably just the defense. And then we have a 28-point second quarter. And then we just keep killing them from there on out. The second quarter was really the deciding factor in this game. We outscored them by 12 points in the second quarter. That really did them in. But if we keep seeing these good out performances, I don't want to overstep and say that Quickly could be Rookie of the Year. But I know we talked about it. But if we see these Rookie of the Year performances from Emmanuel Quickly again, we're going to have a seriously fun time watching these games this year. You know?
Yeah, I hope he could do it consistently. But he is a very consistent player. I know I said at the beginning he's hot and cold, but point-wise, he's always been a consistent player. So hopefully he can keep that up, stay consistent. If he can consistently do that, yeah, I agree. I think he could be in conversation for Rookie of the Year, at least top 5.
Oh, yeah.
So, in a rookie team. But, yeah, I'm just excited to see if they can even this record out to 50-50, see how Quickly does. Yeah. And, yeah, I feel like this is a great stepping stone after that West Coast trip.
Mm-hmm.
And try and keep it up.
Something very valuable to mention, and I'll probably tweet it out on Twitter later if I look into it. I think Thibodeau officially has more wins this season than Fitzdale had the entire last season. I think, what did we go? 8 in 26 before we got a win?
It was bad.
He didn't even get to his 9th win. We're 9-11 right now. Are you joking? That's so crazy. And I feel like although we have a lot of new pieces and Randall's playing well, and you can call me as crazy as you want, but I'm a more experienced fan now and I understand the game better. But I predicted, and I'm proud to say that I predicted the Knicks would make the playoffs last year. Right? And I don't care how crazy I look. I thought RJ Barrett was going to have a good season. He disappointed me. Randall was Beyblading everywhere. I don't know what that was. Robinson had a good year. We just didn't have everyone play good. And Morris was playing really good, but we traded him for that first-round pick, obviously, so that kind of hurt my prediction. But, now that I predicted we're going to get 20 wins this year, we go out, we get 9 in the first quarter of the year?
True.
Are you joking? What? What is my predictions, man? I don't understand, bro. I'm Max Kellerman, bro. Get me out of here. These predictions are trash. Anyway, I hope y'all have enjoyed the live stream. We still got 4 concurrent viewers. I really appreciate whoever's watching. Our top was 6, which is crazy good. I really appreciate that. I don't know about you, Zach, but that was a good live stream. Yeah, yes, sir.
That was a great live
on the stream. I appreciate it. If y'all want to call in next stream, I think we can definitely do a post game on Sunday, right? It's Sunday, 1 p.m. So we'll probably be live around 3. You think that's fair? Just around 3. Could be earlier, could be later. Who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, check out the Twitter and Instagram in the description. Like the stream. Come back. You don't even have to subscribe. Just know when the games are going to be. Check out the channel and see if we're going to be live. But have